Just look at what is going on in Baluchistan. City after city, city after city, the BL is taking over. And they have already moved their forces from Baluchistan on against us on their eastern front. So there is a tremendous pressure. I mean, by now, the not only the Pakistan army, the political leadership, and the general populace at large has somehow realized that it has backfired. Whatever they did on 22nd April, it has backfired, and it is the folly of their army for which the whole population is serving. That is the economic and the other means we took. Now, these guys would be desperate, but simultaneously, they also have to, save face in front of the population. So, what the ideal would be, they would try to take out some, token, what we would call a token bombing, and then try to tell India, look, we did no damage, we did nothing. It is just that, we had to have some aircraft going across, and that's we came back.
Okay, no, but there's a difference, and I don't want to underplay the difference. Okay, during the Uri surgical strike, the Pakistanis simply said that nothing happened, that this strike never took place. It was all the figment of India's imagination. During Balakot, they did say that yes, a strike happened, but you hit a couple of trees. Do we need this band at the top of our screens? I don't know why we are obsessing about it. Let's just tell a story, right? So, during Balakot, they again claimed nothing happened. This time, they can't, because those were forested mountainous areas. These are not forested mountainous areas. This is Kotli, this is Muzaffarabad, potentially it's Muridke, potentially it's Bhavalpur. These are places where people live, and people have witnessed the very large missile strikes. These people know that terror camps operate there. It's an open secret. Everybody knows. Books have been written on them, documentaries have been made on them. It's no big surprise. Muridke has been infamous for generations. So these locals do know it, but Pakistanis can't say that this was a gas explosion, a tank explosion. So they have come out and said that yes, we've been struck in places that are across the international border. Now they have to respond. Now the Pakistanis are infamous, as you know, Brigadier, better than I do, of holding a gun to their heads, and that's their way of negotiating. Okay. Now whether it's effective in the long term is of little interest to me, because I know it's ineffective in the long term. We know what the situation the country in, but in the immediate short term, we don't want the escalation. We are done with what we had to do. Our statements have made it clear. The Pakistanis will try to escalate. Where does the escalation ladder stop?
Again, I said, like I just mentioned before, it depends on what kind of retaliatory escalation they do. If it could be a kind of a prefix match, like our retaliation was focused. It was focused on the terrorist targets. It was also focused on the Doubting Thomas, both in India and in Pakistan. So, that was a very important aspect. Like you said, Kotli, Muzaffarabad, these are all population centers. I mean, next to them, these camps were this thing. So, whole population has witnessed these strikes. So, there is no going back on, now, okay, nothing happened, few trees were hit. Everything has been hit nice and proper, and people can, the videos of the ambulances going, the deaths being counted, you will see they'll start emerging. So that is not the thing. Now, Pakistan's best bet would be try to, approach through either US, China, okay, we are going to make some kind of a retaliatory move, but please tell them don't retaliate, because we will actually, by design, not hit any military target. I mean, that is the
okay.
Best
So what the good brigadier is alluding to, that yes, these things happen, and they've happened in the recent past. I can tell you an example that Israeli strikes happen on Iranian targets. The Iranians respond. They fire 400 missiles, and all 400 missiles hit nothing of significance. Okay, but that's one part of it, of the bluff and bluster of the complicated business and warfare. We are not at war, but warfare is certainly going on. Warfare is a very complex and deadly business. Let's not underestimate it. Let's go hop across. Ajay Jandial, my colleague, is standing by. Ajay, where are you right now and what's happening around you? Live visuals from Pooch, meanwhile, where the blackout continues. I can see some lights that are coming back on. But Ajay, what's going on? Where are you?
Rishabh, right now we have reached here in the Planwala sector, and I will ask my camera person to show you the visuals of the line of control. And this is the place where Pakistan have tried to target the civilian locations as well. And about 2 to 3, huge explosion took place near this location where we are standing. We cannot show the visuals of the surrounding, but what we can show you the visuals of the fenced area where we can see that the lights are on, and Indian forces, they are retaliating effectively to the Pakistani side. But Rishabh, what Pakistan is doing to, once again, Pakistan have started targeting the civilian area, whether it is Punch, whether it is Nushaira, and this sector as well. In Kupwara and Baramulla also heavy shelling is going on, where Pakistan in frustration trying to target the civilian area. As of now, there is no reports of any casualty, but yes, there is a damage to the houses where what our sources are saying.
Okay,
that
so Ajay, I understand you're all in movement, so I'm going to reiterate a few things to you. Okay, it's happening live on television. You're going to switch your camera light off. Okay, I don't need to see you. All right, other people are doing a blackout and you have a spotlight on your head. That makes no sense. Switch your camera light off. We can hear you. That's good enough. Okay, we are not discussing locations.
Light off.
All right, we know you're near
Yes,
the LOC in a particular district. Which village, which road, we don't need to know. I just want to get an estimate that in your area, what you can hear at this point of time. Is there shelling going on as we speak?
Yes, Rishabh, intermediate firing sounds can be heard, and as I told you, you can see the visuals as well of the line of control. We are standing at some distance, so that's why we are able to show you the visuals. Will not name the location, but about 3 to 4, big explosion took place right here where I'm standing, which is deep inside the, Planwala sector in Aknoor. And this basically is a location which shows that Pakistan wanted to basically target the civilian area. What Pakistan does in the past, did in the past as well, but whenever Pakistan not able to, face the Indian firing, Indian retaliation, they start targeting the civilians. People, those who are living along the line of control area, they have been told to stay away from the LOC. They have been told to, hide themselves inside the bunker, because there are thousands of bunkers which was built by the government on the line of control area, because there were already apprehension, and that's why they have been conveyed for the same as well.
All right, Ajay, just stay with me. I just want to get in General Asthana, who's with us now. General Asthana, we have, I think, what is the final list of what has been hit. The nature of how it has been hit, I'll leave it for DGMO to come and tell us. But let's go through the list. Muzaffarabad, Bahawalpur, Kotli, Chakkamuru, Gulpur, Bhimber, Muridke, and a camp near Sialkot. Now, other than Kotli and Muzaffarabad, ready to my knowledge, Muridke, Bahawalpur, Sialkot, all well inside Pakistan. Now, obviously, there are missile strikes. We have reason to believe now whether they were air to surface, surface to surface, loitering drones, I don't know. We have reason to believe that no Indian troops, personnel or aircraft crossed either the international border LOC at this point of time. But the strikes have happened into Pakistan proper, not just into POK. Your thoughts on this, sir?
See, this is a very well planned standoff attack, wherein we don't have to cross border, nor any of our aircraft has to cross border. Only the projectiles are crossing border. And we have planned very well for almost 15 days as to exactly what should be the load and what should be the particular projectile for that particular terror camp. Now, it is a non-escalatory attack in which the terror camps have been hit. we have not hit a military target. Now, after this, if Pakistan chooses to escalate and starts hitting the military or civilian target, Indian Army is very well, Indian Defence Forces are very well prepared.
Okay,
to
so now here's
respond
the onion,
accordingly.
General Asthana, and
Yeah.
we don't have terror camps in Jammu and Kashmir or in Punjab or near Chandigarh, Amritsar. They are shelling us, so by default there won't be shelling empty forests. So they are probably shelling known civilian and military targets, all of which are known. We know where they are, they know where we are. It's not, it's an open secret. The guns are sighted, it's 70 years, we are well into this. It's almost a routine drill exercise for the troops on either side of the LOC. They don't know exactly what they're doing. So if they are shelling us, either they are shelling with the aim to miss or they are shelling with the aim to hit. Now we don't want an escalation. So what do we do now?
No, I think the shelling would be replied, and this we would have calculated also, because in my opinion, let them shell, because the shelling will be responded accordingly, because we also want to finish up their $9-10 billion reserve as soon as possible, and we also want them to get into a state where they have no ammunition and they find it very difficult. But notwithstanding that, we have acted very responsibly. Let them act irresponsibly, and once they fire, we will certainly be firing almost at the same measure. If they fire with artillery, we will be firing with artillery. So I think all this has been calculated. We have taken time to ensure and prepare our civilians also along the line of control, so that the collateral damages are minimized. This
Okay.
was understood, this was known.
Okay, minimized, but again,
nothing surprising is coming through.
yeah, again, General Asthana, let me take you back to what we know how Pakistan operates. Okay, the terror camps that we took out after the surgical strikes, even though they were videographed, we have videography of those strikes. Okay, from the people who went in. The Pakistanis simply said these camps didn't exist. Okay, they were ghosts. Balakot, they said there was no camp. You and I know that videography exists of the camp before and after. But the Pakistanis took the journalists after having dressed the site. They simply removed everything and then showed them a hole in the ground and said, look, you hit a hole in the ground. This time around, it's different. Their population has seen and recorded the strikes that have taken place. So now they have to say that, yes, okay, the strikes have taken place. They are probably surprised that we've hit Murid Ke, which is the surprise, ladies and gentlemen, that we've hit into Pakistani Punjab, we've hit near Sialkot. These are places, that haven't seen action since 1971. So, you know what's going to happen in a few hours, General Asthana. You know it, I know it, all the people with us on the telecast, people watching this all over the world know it. The Pakistanis are going to come out in a couple of hours. They're going to show you visuals. They're going to show you photographs. They're going to tell you that young children, babies, women, old men, old women were all brutally massacred by an Indian missile strike. That's the propaganda game they're going to play. They're going to go and dress the site. Okay. Then they're going to invite Al Jazeera, BBC, New York Times, CNN. You know this is about to happen, right? This is going to happen in the next 2 or 3 hours. We can predict it. What do we do then?
What we have to do now is that I, from your channel, and would like to tell everybody, and I have also been to some other channels as very recently, and I am telling the entire countrymen that this propaganda is going to come. It is part of the plan. It is part of the playbook of Pakistan Army. So we should not get carried away by that. We should wait for the our DGMOs are going to brief. That is, the timings are there. In the morning, all briefings will be carried out, and we should not go ahead with any kind of propaganda. This is understandable that they will do, but then the fact is that we have 8-figure grid reference of every single camp, and those camps have been hit, and nothing else has been hit. Now, as far as the areas which we have hit in the hinterland, that is very well inside. That is because a number of camps in the along the LAC were vacated, and they have gone back to their older camps, which are well inside. So that's how those camps have also been targeted accordingly. So all this is known, and that is why there is no doubt about it. And I think to we anticipate that this kind of propaganda will happen, and that is why you would have seen that the NSA has briefed almost all the countries where this information would reach.
Okay, we have to speculate, sir. Okay, so now we are saying it publicly. This is a public statement that we have struck the camps on the basis of intelligence information. Okay, which means we have